Chapter 4, Heaven's Realm. It is he! It is he! Anami exclaimed excitedly. Oh, how I have longed for this day. Finally, the beloved has answered my petition. Delmar looked doubtfully at the sight before him. What is it? Delmar, you of all people should know. Does the strength of Michael's host not know what lies before him? No, I don't, responded Delmar dryly, with an arch of his brow. But I'm sure you're going to tell me, he added, knowing his friend's flair for the dramatic. Why, this is none other than a man of dust. It is a human. But the humans dwell in Adam's realm. What's it doing here? Good thinking, Delmar. Let's ask it, said Anami as he peered closer to the human's face. Oh, human, why are you here? Why are you speaking so loud? I'm sure it can hear. Well, maybe not. Oh, watch it, replied Anami, hastily reaching his arms out just a moment too late. Oh, look, it fell down. Quick, Delmar, pick it up. You pick it up. You did it. Was that booming voice really necessary? A simple greeting would have sufficed. Delmar, first impressions are everything, you know. I was merely trying to address it properly, replied Anami with a feigned look of hurt crossing his features. Well, I believe the it is a he, if my memory serves me correctly, and he has fainted, said Delmar as he easily lifted the 7-foot frame, only a few heads shorter and just as lithe as his own figure nearby. A drink of water should revive him. On second thought, maybe our appearance frightened him. He may be unaccustomed to our essence. Of course, right as usual, Delmar. Let's adjust, agreed Anami as he immediately began to take on a form similar to that of the human. When he was done, anyone who knew Anami could still see the telltale characteristics of the chief lieutenant of the Alpha Company, the regal features and pearly hues still apparent in assumed flesh. Nice work, said Delmar, settling for a tawny version of his own luminous essence, which usually shone like the purest gold, while transforming his golden eyes to light brown. This time, let me do the talking. Although Delmar was one of the smallest angels, he was highly skilled at diplomacy, perhaps a special gift given to him in a land where physical skill and size dominated. Friend, said Delmar in low tones as he shook the limp form on the bench. No movement. Anami and Delmar exchanged concerned glances. You know, Delmar, I think a nice song would benefit him, said Anami hopefully, as he began humming a little melody. And I'm sure I can't persuade you not to sing, said Delmar flatly. Delmar appreciated a good song as well as the next citizen, but Anami always sang everywhere they went. Delmar hated to admit it to his cheerfully zealous comrade, but sometimes he just wanted silence. Not in the least, replied Anami as he took it up an octave and ignored Delmar's eyes rolling around strangely in the fleshly sides. Aha! See here, friend? My song is working, added Anami with a crooked grin. At first, Enoch thought he was dreaming. He was home again. He could hear birds singing in the distance as the light of the sun pushed the shadows of the night away. He opened his eyes. Oh, said Enoch in surprise. Now he remembered. He sat up fully, once again taking in the incredible beauty of this place and the two strangers in front of him. What happened? You fainted, replied Delmar, offering him a cup of water. But I saw lights approaching. Did you see it? There were 2 of them, I think. I think they were Oh, so you could hear. I thought so. See, Delmar, there was no reason for concern, said Anami as he began shedding his human form for that of his own. Ah! Shouted Enoch as he fell back on his elbow while using the other hand to cover his eyes. Be at ease, friend. We are the 2 you saw approaching, explained Delmar reassuringly. Cover yourself, Anami, so that our friend may be comfortable. Enoch watched in amazement as Anami took on a human appearance once again. Oh, I do apologize. Most sorry for your trouble. No harm intended. So does clarity harm your eyes? Asked Anami. Clarity? Yes, we all exhibit clarity here in all of its nuances. You become accustomed to the brilliance. Although I must admit, I do understand how you feel. When the beloved shows himself in all his clarity, it can be most overwhelming. I almost have to leave his presence, admitted Anami ruefully. The beloved? Who is that? Excuse me, friend, interjected Delmar, but I believe proper introductions are in order. I am Delmar, Chief Strategic Analyst, Alpha Company, and this is Anami, Chief Archery Specialist. I am Enoch, son of Jared, and the seventh son of Adam. I guess you could call me the hope of the tribe of Seth, and the chief tracker. Well, sort of. Enoch stopped short as he remembered he could not find his way out. Well, excuse me, I don't mean to be rude, but what sort of men are you? We are not men, said Anami as he stifled a chuckle. We are sons of the Ancient One. Adam had brothers? Enoch's shocked at the thought. The elders never mentioned any brothers of Adam. Oh, I see. The Ancient One must have created brothers of Adam that did not sin and were not exiled from the Garden of Eden. Enoch rushed on, speaking faster and faster. Praise the light. The elders will be so elated with the revelation that we have kinsmen that's... No, friend, you misunderstand. Delmar butted in hastily before Enoch could continue. We are not brothers of Adam. We sons of the Most High were created before the Beloved formed Adam. Where do you believe yourself to be? Well, the Garden of Eden, answered Enoch hesitantly, trying to ignore the strange sensation coming from the pit of his stomach. This time Anami could not contain his laughter. Friend, you are quite mistaken. This is not the Garden of Eden. This is the Garden of God. Glory of heaven's realm. Ooh, Delmar, wait, he's done it again. Quick, Delmar, pick him up. Enoch recovered quickly as he raised himself back onto the marble bench, noticing for the first time the intricate craftsmanship of the complex design on the cool surface. He steadied his weakened knees by pressing them firmly into the shimmering fine rocks underneath his seat. He looked at your faces standing over him with a bizarre mixture of curiosity and concern as they spoke in quick, hushed tones. Why must you keep on shocking people and carrying on? Everything is not a joke, you know, said the smaller of the two. Well, how was I supposed to know he would... Oh, see, he's coming around now, said Anami, smiling broadly as he gave Enoch a hand up. Friend, tell me, will you be falling down frequently? Because if you will, I would be most happy to take you to a very soft place where you can fall, faint, or whatever that flopping thing is as much as you like. Just ignore him, Enoch, said Delmar, taking a seat on the bench opposite him. We are terribly sorry for the surprise. We didn't realize you would react so strongly, said Delmar tactfully. Or come here without knowledge of your destination. And I believe what we would like to... How did you get here? Asked Anami, cutting Delmar off. Sons of Adam are not permitted, said Anami succinctly. The new focus and determination crossing Anami's features made Enoch a little uncomfortable. He stammered as he tried to explain. Well, I don't know, really. Anami's stare sharpened as he instinctively moved his right arm to the pack on his back. Enoch, familiar with the bow himself, knew him. I was looking for alru that grows along the cliffs on the edge of the hidden garden. Alru? Asked Delmar. Yes, Enoch replied quickly, pointing towards the pile he had stacked so neatly by the river. My people are in desperate need of the alru to ward off the sickness. Oh, you mean the loquiva of Al, which bears healing, said Delmar, recognizing the familiar plant. Well, yes, it does restore us, acknowledged Enoch, and we must have it or suffer horribly until the bearer of the seed destroys the serpent. That still doesn't answer the question, Anami said in a steely voice. Yes, while I was gathering the alru on the cliffs, I was attacked by a great flying beast who dared raise himself against me, an image of the Ancient One. As I was fighting the great beast off, great thunder shook the ground and lightning filled the sky and scared the great bird off. Yet I was doomed, for I had stared in the face of the Ancient One's guardian, and he set himself to slay me. Yes, go on, said Anami as his hand dropped from his pack and he leaned forward to hear more, for no one enjoyed a good tale as much as Anami. What happened next? Well, said Enoch, adapting the foreboding tone he'd heard the wise talebearers use in his village. Then out of nowhere, a hand grabbed me. No, said Anami with all the delight of a child hearing a favorite bedtime story. Yes, insisted Enoch, and a man called my name saying, Enoch, follow me. And then asked Anami, urging Enoch to finish the story. Then he led me to a hidden cave in the cliffs, and I ran as fast as I could to keep up with him, but he was always just out of my reach. The cave swirled and twirled through the blackness, and I banged myself up, trying not to fall as it twisted and turned. Then suddenly the strange man walked through the light at the end of the tunnel, and I followed him. The next thing I knew, I was here. Well, where is the man who brought you here? Asked Delmar sharply. I don't know. When I heard you two coming, I thought it was he returning to help. I must find him. I do not know the way back to the cave which brought me here. I looked and cannot find it at all. I see, said Delmar as he stood up and began to pace slowly around the bench. Delmar, do you think it could be? Started Anami. Enoch, what did this man look like? Asked Delmar purposefully. Well, he was, actually, he looked kind of like my cousin Tubal King or one of the others of his tribe. And how do they appear? Larger than me, taller and with thick limbs, dark eyes, usually, though not always, but this man's eyes were dark and he wore his hair in long cords, responded Enoch. He was moving very fast. I did not get a very good look. It could be, Anami stopped himself. Delmar emulated the move almost as quickly. As Enoch swung around to see the cause, he fell backwards in dismay. A great light shone, brighter than the brilliant jewel tones of Anami and Delmar in their true state. It was more than white. Enoch couldn't think of a color to describe it. It was almost the absence of anything, yet somehow the sum of everything in one magnificent shining burst, illuminating everything in its path. It had to be what Anami had called clarity. This was the beloved. Without knowing how, Enoch too fell prostrate. Rise, friends, said the beloved gently. Enoch looked up hesitantly. He noticed that the aura emanating from the beloved had dimmed slightly as a cool, rushing sensation swept through his mind. Now he saw a familiar form, the stranger. Had the light dimmed, or perhaps his eyes had merely adjusted to this Enoch. You wonder what I am, stated the beloved, as he sat down among them on the benches. The warm blood rushing to his face reminded him of his humanity as he dared to address this being. Yes, stammered Enoch. You don't remember? I remember you were on the cliffs. You helped me and I followed you here, said Enoch. Is that all you remember? A look of confusion crossed Enoch's face as he tried to understand the question. Of course that's all he remembered. That's all that happened. He had never met the stranger before. Wait, maybe there was something else. Suddenly, flashes exploded through his mind as he saw glimpses of a man's life. No, his life. He saw his birth, his mother and father laughing. He had a huge family with many brothers and sisters. There were celebrations, endless moments exploring and riding through an immense forest. His favorite horse was laughing and shouting with glee as they jumped the river, racing through the unhindered woods. He saw a man out front leading the chase. It was the beloved. No, wait, something was wrong, off somehow. The life he saw, it was familiar. He knew it had been his, but it wasn't now. His mother and father looked different, and he had no large family. No laughing, speaking stallion was his companion, and he had never challenged the host to a quest through Avonland Forest to see who could catch the beloved. What was this? Enoch stared into the distance as he reminisced, forgetting all those around him as he remembered and relived the experiences. Not even the heavy sound of hooves galloping towards him broke his concentration. Whoa! Anami exclaimed, jumping up to stare at the stampeding stallion, galloping by with a translucent rider, gripping the reins tightly. Where did that horse come from? Delmar, did you see it coming? It just appeared out of nowhere. Before Delmar could answer, a team of hosts, also on horseback, raced by and disappeared, leaving only a breeze smelling of sweat, hay, and sandalwood as a reminder of their appearance. Just 1 point, please, said Delmar as he stood up quickly to follow the path of the riders. I know those men. Anami, they look like us, said Anami. My lord, what is happening? Enoch is remembering, replied the beloved with a satisfied smile. He is remembering his life as it should have been, and the essence of the Ancient One in him makes his thoughts visible to you. If he speaks them now, surrounded by the clarity of heaven's realm, they will become fixed and materialize. His old life will disappear completely, and he will enter his alternate reality. He must return before he forgets his former life completely. Delmar and Anami looked at the display before them with interest. Apparently, Anami and Enoch had been great friends in this reality. "Oh, look, Delmar, I'm in the lead now. It looks like—" "Enoch," said the beloved forcefully. His firm voice shook Enoch away from his vision like a ripe plum dropping from a tree. He had no choice in the matter. It was simply time to fall away. Slowly and silently, the ever-vibrant images before them softly faded into the crisp brightness of heaven's realm. Regretfully, Enoch released his thoughts and stared into the beloved's eyes. "You are the image of the Ancient One," he said with assurance. "Enoch, it is time for you to take the Alru back to Adam's realm." "What? What is Alru? And where is Adam's realm?" asked Enoch, with eyes dotted with confusion and a little curiosity. "Why did you stop the chase?" "Enoch, the elders at the tribunal await you. You must return with the Alru before your cousin Tubal-Cain. The people suffering from the sickness need you." Pinpricks tingled and tickled his mind until he had a clear vision of the camp. The elders of the tribe of Cain and the tribe of Seth decreeing the contest. He saw Tubal-Cain and himself running towards Avonland Forest. He remembered the fierce confrontations with the pterodactyl and his escape from the cliffs. He felt the forgotten sense of urgency return. "Yes, of course, my lord." "Anami," spoke the beloved, glancing at the two officers as he rose, "and Delmar, show Enoch the way and make sure he returns safely with the Alru. Take Azam with you and adhere to the code." "Yes, my lord," Anami and Delmar said simultaneously.